the Weird Girls Club podcast
with your hosts, Niamh and Amy.
Hi. Welcome back to episode 2
Number 2, my love.
of season 4.
Yeah.
So we already had recorded this episode for
Yeah.
last week, but we had an audio issue, which we
baby boy.
literally
Can't for the life of us even figure it out. We
Yeah.
ended up going back to one of our old mics because it was just impossible to figure out. Like I have no idea what was
we
happening.
sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
I don't know what the set, like
It was
whatever
like a throwback
happened.
to, when was Alvin Chipmunks, like 2016, like one of them songs like with the real high pitch,
Yeah.
like chipmunk voice. It was doing
Fucking
that on
DJ
top-
Sammy in the
yeah,
mix.
like it was painful.
Yeah.
So we needed a little break to recoup
Oh.
and re-record this episode because by the title you can like
You probably know.
guess. Don't
Yeah.
know exactly what title it's going to be, but it's probably going to be in the title at some point, like
It will be in the
depending on
title.
what it is,
But yeah,
why we were on such a long break.
on a hiatus.
And I know we touched on it a little bit in the last episode, just saying like there was loads going on in life and stuff like that, but there was like a bigger
There was a bigger scheme behind everything.
there was a more of a like, right, we're not doing it and not just we'll try do it when we can. It's like it's
No,
not happening
like
till
on the
we
scale of
figure-
priorities,
yeah, it
like,
was low down.
it was, well, yeah, obviously,
Isn't it?
like, do you know what I
there's
mean?
literally no time, nothing, but we'll suppose just
We're going to jump into all.
yeah, we'll just rip the band-aid off. But just
Yeah.
before we get into it, I will say that me and Niamh, and I'm going to say me especially as well, find humour in things. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's our coping mechanism. That's how we get through it, and is like we'll make a joke about it, we'll slag ourselves. Like you probably know that even just from listening to the podcast, from the smallest thing to
Yeah.
the biggest thing, we'll make a joke about it. Like it's how we get through. So just if that's not for anybody in the topics we
We have
talk
dark
about,
humour.
we're not gonna like, I mean, not everything's gonna be a laugh, a joke, and like taking
Yeah.
the piss out of other people. It's ourselves, our experience. We're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
professionals or any sort.
No.
But yeah, I thought we'd just say that.
So
for
if you
again.
find it like strange that we're like making jokes about this in a certain
Yeah.
way, it's just how we,
It's
how we are.
and also this is a new news to us. Like
Mhm.
what is it now? June. Like the news we're sharing, we've been dealing with this year. Like
Yeah.
since like the last 6 months, we've been living with it, experiencing it. And
Yeah. So
I guess we'll just rip the
Well,
band-aid off.
I think we go to day 1,
Yeah,
which
day
was December 27th. I'm going to put that in big writing. December
Dun, dun, dun.
27th.
Doomsday.
If you want to jump into, like, that whole day was just weird for us, though.
yeah,
Like, earlier in the day.
yeah, like started out, had COVID.
Both had COVID.
Both had COVID. Had a big fat cold sore, me first ever cold sore, literally. And then I was waiting on results from a doctor, well, gynae, I should say, and I wasn't expecting them to come in. Well, I just randomly got a phone call at like 4:30 in the day, and unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer, specifically endometrial cancer. So that's like a cancer within your womb, and lots of people actually have endometriosis. It doesn't necessarily mean they have cancer or that it can grow into cancer.
Yeah.
So endometriosis is when the lining of your uterus basically grows outside of your uterus, and it just gets really thick, and it causes a lot of pain with your period and a lot of issues kind of with periods and probably fertility as well. And like
The joys of womanhood.
yeah, another thing to add to the list of women's monthly issues. So yeah, in this episode we are going to be talking about my experience like having cancer and periods in general. That's a bit TMI for some listeners. But
Yous are wheels long enough now if yous are
Yeah,
listening
like,
that yous know we talk about
I
anything and
always
everything.
I
So
always laugh when I think about the clip I made of Niamh ages ago, like probably season 1, where you were like, when I'm on my period, I'll eat a scabby towel covered in chocolate. And I just
oh
think,
my god, I forgot about that.
that just lives in my head rent free, because I just think that is, when someone asks what's your podcast about, I just think of that. I just think
Like, that's the scale of
I
it.
just think of no thoughts, just words. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like there's
No filter. It's
there's
just
there's no real thought that
Yeah.
goes into it. Like sometimes we'll think of topics that we're gonna discuss. I'm like, oh, I think of this during the week and I'll say
Mhm.
it, but like for the most part it's just waffle, and then we're like, oh my god, did we say that?
yeah, like I would be like, I don't remember saying that, like I didn't say it, and you'd be like, yeah you did, I just made a clip of it. I'm like, oh, I don't remember.
Or I'll send her like a funny clip that like that probably isn't getting made into a clip, but I'm like, oh, I can't believe you said that. And she's like, did I say that? And I'm like, it's right there.
Yeah, like I'd literally, but that's in day-to-day life though.
Yeah, that's just in general. But
Like we'll do weird shit, and then we're like, some be like, oh, remember you did that, and we'll be like, no, and you'd be like, you fucking did, you were dancing around the kitchen.
Oh,
but yeah,
that was a bit of a random tangent, but yeah, so it was 2 days after Christmas I got diagnosed. So like coming back to the podcast was just, we actually had like a photo shoot booked to do like season 4 promo, and we had locations picked for it and ideas, and we were
locations
really
paid
for it. Yeah, like paid, like had to go on and like cancelled stuff, and then it was just like, I don't know what the next few months is gonna look like. I can't even think about it, because at the same time the podcast is so much work that we do enjoy, but it's on top of already life, like running our own households, fucking having jobs, pets, whatever it might be.
Oh, Trent is here, by the way, in case you're like, what is this black thing she's just rubbing?
Yeah, if you're watching the video, because it probably cut off like where you can actually see him.
Bum belly.
It's stress. It's stress.
It's stress.
It's stress. It's just stress.
Because Trent is stress. I thought you were trying to match 2 words together. I was saying Trent and stress because you said Tress, and I was like, yeah, he's stressed.
Maybe
Trent.
I was subconsciously like.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know whether do I go into like some of my symptoms, or like kind of back like what made me go to the doctor, I suppose.
Yeah, you could touch on it a little bit. I don't think they need the whole like.
No, I'll just briefly go into that.
Share whatever you feel you want to share.
Yeah. Share in class.
Plus, if you share too much, I can just edit.
Yeah,
like it out.
That's fine. Who cares?
At this rate, there's no such thing as TMI on this.
And not with me
podcast
anymore. So that many people have looked up my hoo-ha, seen me naked. I've had to put my fucking trousers down for the last 3 weeks every day for the strangers. So we've loads to get into.
She's loving the attention she is.
So I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
It's gonna be on a billboard. It is.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. Finally got that job in Fillmore's.
I think they're taken as well. So
yeah.
I'll throw your application in if you want.
Briefly like touch on some symptoms, because it's going to be different for everyone, and I don't want to scaremonger anyone when they're thinking, oh, I have this or I experienced that. I will say that this type of cancer is actually quite rare in younger people. Not to say it's not going to happen, because example 1 right here, like it's happened to me, but they've said like it is more common in people who are like menopausal and older women. So just not to scaremonger anyone who thinks they have endometriosis or have endometriosis, it doesn't mean you're gonna get this either. But just look after your bodies and listen to it as well. So when I was younger, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. Yeah. Did I get the last time we done this episode, I said fucking system or something, and I didn't even.
Something, and I was like, you don't even know what you had.
So I had that, so that caused issues in itself, like very irregular periods, maybe once a year. Then in the last 2 years, I'd say I started to get more regular periods, which then were causing other issues like a lot of pain, heavy bleeding, clots, like a lot of red flags that they should have been early on, but I was putting them down to PCOS, because that can also cause all these issues. And it was like, I haven't had my period in 6 months, of course it's going to be heavy, it's going to be painful, it's going to be whatever. Because when I would get them when I was younger, they would have been very painful and all that shit stuff like that comes with a period. So I put off the doctor really, because I was like, oh, they're just going to tell me like there's nothing they can do, try this vitamin, try this diet, try this, like there's a lot of, even when I was back in Ireland, like a lot of just, oh, try this, but there's no remedy for PCOS. You just have to live with it and figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
So
suffer in silence.
Yeah, basically. There's nothing we can do for you. But then last year in August, I want to say, I finally went to my family doctor, because I had some really bad nights where like I didn't even sleep. I was in that much pain. I was like just doubled over, like I couldn't be dealing with it. So I went to my family doctor. She sent me for ultrasounds and scans and blood works and stuff like that, and she had noticed that the lining of my uterus was a bit thick, so she was like, I'm going to refer you to a gynae specialist and they can check to see if you have endometriosis, because at this point it was just polycystic ovary syndrome that I knew I had, and that had been diagnosed. So the referral was accepted, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll probably see in about 6 months. It takes about 6 months to get to actually see the doctor after your referral. They literally rang like, I want to say 3 weeks later with an appointment for like a week later. So this was like November-ish, early November.
Was it even 3 weeks though?
I don't even know.
I don't think it was, because I said to you when I was in Ireland, please go to doctor.
Yeah.
And then I was out, remember when I was back, And you said I'd
Oh, yeah,
have
you
to
were
ring
home,
and so it wasn't even 3 weeks.
So because I went to my family doctor and she said, I want you to go for your scan and your blood work, but I want you to be on your period so we can see if there's a flare up, like it might show something like enlarged, whatever it might be. And of course I had just finished like 6 weeks of a period and didn't get one till literally late October or something. So I was like, right, booking in like last minute. So then by the time the results came back, then it was early November maybe, and they accepted the referral a week later. So I'd say it was still about 2-3 weeks from when they gave me the appointment though. Like they rang and were like, we're accepting your referral.
I think it was 2 weeks. In my head I'm thinking 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking then it was a week till the appointment.
Till
so
the
3
appointment,
weeks.
yeah. Because he said, oh, there's one next Friday.
Yeah,
Like, can you
so
come
they
with me,
rang,
remember?
like, either on a Friday or like that Monday being like, we're running an extra clinic, can you come in Friday? And I was like, yeah, of course I can. I was like,
Yeah, like drop
I thought I was
everything.
gonna like see it and bleed in April or something. Like, of course I can. So that was literally 2 weeks before Christmas, I'd say. Yeah, roughly about 2 weeks before Christmas. So I went. There was nothing they could see off the scans that was there, like no non-cancerous things, as in like plops for brides, like weird lumps or on. They could see I had loads of cysts, but they could tell that they weren't necessarily affecting me. Like there was nothing in them that was not affecting me. I don't know what I'm saying here. They were doing their thing with the PCOS, but they weren't bad that they needed to be removed.
Yeah.
So she was like, we'll do your smear and we'll do a biopsy just to rule it out on cancers. And I'm like, I cannot thank this woman enough, in a sense. Like, she went above and beyond in my standards. Like, because you just expect doctors just to be like, there's nothing really there, let's monitor it and see how it goes. Like, I feel like that's why I always...
You're always kind of giving the long finger.
Yeah, I always tend to like, I'll go to the doctor when I need to go to the doctor, because I'm like, they're just going to tell me, wait it out, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, no, if you're okay, we'll do your smear today, we'll do a biopsy. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then she was going through like what it'd be like, and she was like, it might feel like a sharp pain and this and that. And your smear test, ladies, if you're listening, book your smear test. It's not painful at all. And Neve can even attest to that, because she had hers done last year.
Last year, yeah.
Like early last year maybe. So get that done and get tested.
As nervous as you do be, like it's I didn't feel anything. Like she was like, all right, you're done. I'm like, you're done? Like, did you even do that? And like that's what I was thinking. Like she didn't even, it didn't feel like she done anything.
I was like that as well. I was like, she was like, done. I was like, okay.
And if you're mortified thinking like, oh my god, I have to get me whole out or whatever, just be like, here, it's like a mechanic looking into a car engine. That's what my ma always said. It's like looking into a car engine. For them, it's not
nearly every person that goes in, you're guaranteed they're looking up at their hoo-ha.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I wouldn't even feel like nervous now, because I've already had like a smear done. I'm just like, whatever, don't care, probably never see it again, doesn't really matter. Yeah,
exactly. So like, just play as go, book them. But in saying that as well, like, not to deter anyone from going and getting their smear done, because that detects other things. My smear did come back normal, like thankfully there was no issues in that side of it, but the biopsy did come back and show that it was cancerous cells in there. So yeah, so she rang like literally 2 days after Christmas, like the 27th, and it's just been crazy since then.
Yeah,
like
snowballed, kind of, like,
it's snowballed, and it like has just been the quickest year of my life. Like, I can't believe we're in mid-June.
Yeah, closer to the end of June, really,
because there's just constantly been something happening. So what this meant, having this endometriosis cancer, was there's essentially two things you could do, but the end all and be all of it is a hysterectomy, which is having your uterus taken out and that procedure done. There is two routes you can potentially go depending on the grade of your tumor. So the way they do, I don't know if it's just like gynecology tumors or specifically this one, they do grading as well as stages. So there's grade 1, 2, 3. If you're grade 1, you can try this like fertility preservation route, that essentially is you get an IUD put in and you have like monthly or bi-monthly biopsies and like tests, and like they re-put in your IUD and they monitor the tumor.
It's all hormonal, isn't it? It's all hormonal. So
they're like suppressing your hormones, and they're monitor the tumor to see, is it stopped growing or is it even shrinking.
Yeah.
So that would be like a year process, a year to 18 months at least. And then after that, if it hadn't been successful and it didn't stop it growing, or whatever they see fit as like their standards of it working or not, then you need to get a hysterectomy. Or depending if you were grade 2, or if you wanted it yourself, you could just go and get the hysterectomy straight away. Because even with this fertility preservation, you would be on the IUD and having regular checkups until basically you wanted to have kids. and after you were done having kids, whether you wanted 1, 3, 4, 6, however many, they would take out your womb then.
Yeah.
So it was inevitable that eventually you'd be getting a hysterectomy. As long as the tumour wasn't growing and stuff, they'd be happy to do the preservation medication, so you'd be on the hormone balancers and stuff like that. So for me, that was a no. I didn't want to go down that route. As I've said on this podcast, I didn't know if I wanted kids. I'm still not 100% sure. And it was just living with that for a year, knowing you have a tumour, I think would just affect you in so many other ways.
Yeah. Like how could it not?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it always be in the back of your mind, like, has it grown, like, has it spread, whatever. Because I remember when we went to the appointment with our doctor, and she gave us them 2 options of, like, it might be a hysterectomy, or we could try do the hormonal route. In my head, I'm like, that hormonal route is literally putting your life on pause for the gut to 3 years.
Yeah.
For inevitably for it to end in a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
And being 25, you
single, nowhere near having a family or in talks,
or don't even know if you want one. Like, do you know what I mean? So how do you, like, what we were saying after the appointment, I think you kind of already knew, like, I want a hysterectomy, like, I'm not putting my life, and then this constant, like, niggling worry of, like, about this tumour that it can go, like, you just don't know. Do you know what I mean?
It's like putting it on pause and waiting a year and living with something for a year to know that at the end you either need to continue living with it and at its pause rate and it's not spreading, or you're going to need to do the surgery anyway. So it's like, do you just get the surgery now and just deal with all, like, everything that comes with it? And that was just a decision I made. Like, the appointment was very quick after, like, getting the diagnosis from me gynae. Like, she sent the referral that day on the 27th, and I was with them like the 4th of June or 4th of January. Like, as soon as they opened back up from, like, Christmassy time, they rang with an appointment again for, like, that Friday, and we were in and we were finding out, like, what would be needed and stuff. And it was going for MRI, CTs to check everything, and
it was full on.
It was very full on from, like, the get-go. Like, and that's why, like, again with the podcast, it was just like, there's too much going on and there's too many waiting on dates for things. Like, obviously when I decided I wanted to have the surgery, I then met with my gynae and I was kind of talking about it, and I was like, I know they mentioned this fertility preservation, this, like, if it's low grade, but I'm like, if I'm low grade, because at this point we didn't know, can I still just get the hysterectomy? And she was like, yeah. She was like, 100%, your health is your main priority, not a hypothetical child that may or may not happen in the future. Like, I'm preserving your uterus for that. If a hysterectomy is what you want, like, that's what we'll do for you. Like, so that was kind of like a relief for me, because part of me thought, right, they're looking at me, they were putting a lot of emphasis on the fertility preservation, and, like, if it's low grade 1, we can do this. And I was like, I was telling myself, right, I think they're doing that because I'm so young and I don't have kids yet, and they're like, we don't want to scare her into thinking she can't have kids, like, it's an option. Where in my head I was like, no, I'd rather just, like, get it
but
done,
even the hormonal option, like, obviously if you are listening to this and you are going through it and you pick the hormonal option, like, we're not shading the hormonal option, like, that's just
glad it's there.
Like, it's just for Amy, she just didn't feel that was the route she wanted to go down. Like, it just sounded like a lot of pain and a lot of dragging out the inevitable.
I think if I had been in a position that I was in, say, a long-term relationship, and I had been talking about having kids in the next 2-3 years, or even in the next 5 years, maybe it would have tempted me to, like, right, we'll bring this process up, we'll try for a kid this year, and then we'll do this, because, like, essentially they would have had the IUD in and they take it in for when you want to have kids, and obviously once it's safe and they're seeing it's working, like, that would have been an option. But I was like, I'm nowhere near that, and again, don't even know if I want kids at any stage. So, like, for me, it's, let's just do the hysterectomy. I'm like, that seems to me the easiest option, and I think a lot of people knew I'd go for that as well. I remember even saying to me ma, like, when I told her, I was like, I think I'm leaning towards just, like, getting the hysterectomy regardless. She was like, I had a feeling. I just think fair play to anyone that can do that. Like, and I think if that's something you want, like, and you know you want kids, and, like, you're in the middle of trying and you get news like this, it's a great option to have there. And I hope as many people that, like, want it can get it, because again, it's low grade 1, and sometimes in certain cases grade 2. But then when I went back to oncology, it turns out that option wasn't even actually, like,
it wasn't available
to me. Even though mine was low grade 2, it was still whatever they could see on their end. That route wasn't an option for me. I needed to have the hysterectomy. So then that meant the start of IVF. So I chose to freeze my eggs. Got some eggs in the incubator. Made maybe we'll do like if people have questions about that, because I know like IVF, not that it's similar for everyone,
it's just a big process. It's just a big process.
But if anyone has any questions about it, like maybe we'll go more in depth of my experience with that. But I done IVF. That was probably one of the harder parts, like, because obviously the tumor's hormone based, so when they're pumping you all your hormones, I was like crippled for like 3 weeks waiting on it. But
she was hormonal.
Yeah, hormones were through the roof.
Yep.
Ovulating was ovulating. But yeah, it took a while to get there. I was kind of like, oh my god, is this ever gonna end? But eventually we got there and had a really successful egg retrieval. They got 32 eggs in total and were able to freeze 26 eggs. Like,
that's really good.
It's actually mad.
That's youth, people. That's fucking youth.
I remember one girl said to me, she was like, how old are you? And I was like, 25. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But she goes, but you can be 40 when you want to have kids and your eggs are nice and young. They're only 25. And I was
true.
Like, that's right.
I've
got loads of nice young little eggs. Yeah. So they're all in the freezer there.
If you ever get stuck for money, you don't have money for Christmas presents, just start giving people your family eggs.
Yeah.
Be like, this is the best gift I can give you is a younger me.
Yeah.
Is a double me, a mini me.
Mini me. Yeah. But now I keep staggering with my ma's like, you better have grandkids now after all this, like going through this, blah, blah. And I'm like, the eggs are there if you want them.
Yeah.
You can raise them.
Yeah.
Have at it.
All 26 of them.
You don't need me. Have as many grandkids as you want there, but you'll raise them.
You just need that incubator.
She's just laughing.
Fire away.
But yeah, we can go into it because obviously there's a lot of costs that go into that and stuff. So if people have more questions about that, maybe we'll. That's like a whole thing in itself, like the fertility.
Yeah. And everyone's different with it. So just because you went through, like, if we do another video, doesn't mean like everyone's journey is going to be the same way.
Everyone's like different, and again, we're not professionals in any of this. It's just speaking from experience.
Exactly.
And everyone does IVF for different reasons as well. Like But yeah, then after that was basically like waiting on surgery. I think a few days after the egg retrieval, I got a date for surgery. And by surgery I mean like the hysterectomy, because they were waiting on the egg retrieval, which took a bit longer to get the eggs grown. But yeah, so then it was surgery time. I feel like we're speeding through this, but I don't know if it's because
we recorded it previously,
and we like
kind of went on different tangents in the last one.
Yeah,
because literally the last episode we recorded on this, obviously because we couldn't use it because of audio issues, it was over an hour long.
Yeah.
And I was like, bitch, I'm trying to record. Like,
I remember beginning, I was like, how do we even start this? How do we say it? We're now, it feels like we had a little practice run, and not that we're even leaving much out. We're getting it in, but I'm more articulating what I'm saying, that I can get it out, and I'm not like,
it was more like, now we were like, right, we're gonna do the timeline. Last time it was kind of like, oh, I did this, and then we did this. Oh no, oh, and then we were like, oh, we'll actually go back and like say from the beginning, and that was halfway through the episode. So so you were waiting then on your hysterectomy, which you got that done the end of March.
So that happened on the 25th of March, the day after my birthday. So I spent me 26th birthday sitting on toilet because they needed to clear me out.
She had a Guinness the night before though.
I did.
Oh no, you didn't.
Not the night before surgery, but the night before, like Friday and Saturday, we had drinks for me birthday.
Yeah.
So I went out to Names Friday and we done a little movie night and had some snacks and food.
And we had butter chicken.
Yeah. Oh, we did have butter chicken. Why didn't we have blondies? I think it's usually we go for blondies.
We always have blondies.
Oh,
we got butter chicken.
Oh, I'm going there on Saturday.
See how I loved my invite.
You can come if you want.
No, I'm alright. P invite on the
We're going out Friday. I knew you wouldn't go out 2 nights.
We're not going out Friday.
We are going out Friday. We're going to Shake Shack and the pictures.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. That's why I'm going Saturday.
Oh, I didn't know when you were going. I was only winding you up and anyway.
Well, you can come if you want. You're invited to.
No, I'm grand.
Yeah, I thought so.
P invite.
Chicken
Trent, close your ears. She didn't even invite you.
Didn't you want to come? But yeah, so
these cups smell like Krispy Kreme. Did you just have a Krispy Kreme down?
Oh, I wonder if she used soy milk in her tea.
Do they taste like Krispy Kreme?
No, it smells quite sweet, the soy milk. It doesn't taste it, but it has a
but
really
it's
nice
like
smell.
It's not bad. Like, it just tastes sweet, but it tastes like Krispy Kreme donuts.
I think it does give a bit of like, do you know, like a smell of a glazed donut.
I started thinking there was something wrong with me. I was like, why does this?
No,
like that's why
made it with soy milk.
I was like, it tastes like a Krispy Kreme donut.
That's the original one. It's not unsweetened, so it has a bit more of a smell. But it smells
but
kind of like a glazed donut.
It doesn't smell. It tastes literally like a glazed donut. That's why I was like, oh, I wonder did they have Krispy Kreme? And
we did, but like that was ages ago.
I was like, oh, maybe they put the
We got
donuts
them.
in with the cups or something. I can smell. I don't know. I was just thinking. That's why I
Do you
kept.
know Krispy Kreme have Dolly Parton donuts? I've been meaning to actually tell you this for ages.
For you mean to tell
I
me?
mean for like the last week.
So if I go down to Krispy Kreme now, they probably won't even have them anymore.
No, they should have them. They have a pink one with a little butterfly on it. Then they have a lemon one. Then they have one. It's not the right. It's like a glazed donut and has like a chocolate swirl and a icing swirl on it. But like I ended up taking that off. And they have another one. I can't remember what it is.
Why do you have got Dolly Parton stuff?
I don't know. She's not. Is like Krispy Kreme from Nashville or something? Is that where she's from?
Tennessee.
Yeah. We went over one of the days after the hospital because we had to go back then. Like, so we were like, oh, okay.
Krispy
Jimmy's
Kreme
there,
is
Krispy
massive.
Kreme, and oh,
Just
oh,
even that
there.
plain, you know, the plain
The
glazed
glazed?
ones.
Yeah, we got
Because
two
they
glazed and
boil
cheese
their
ones.
donuts.
Oh, they do actually.
Mm.
Is that not how you make donuts? Boiling them?
No, they
Some
deep,
places
deep
do
fry
fry
them.
them. Yeah. Oh, I'd love a Krispy Kreme glazed donut right now.
Oh,
See this one.
and you know what? Even if you order them, you have to order 12.
that's okay with me. 3 for me, 3 for Kate, and 3 for you, 3 for Aaron, or 4 from the 3 of us.
Snooze loose. Snoo. I'd have 12 fucking glazed.
Same.
Because sometimes when you order the multi-pack ones, sometimes they're not nice.
Oh no. Yeah.
You're just better off getting
Yeah, there was one
fully
particularly
glazed.
fancy, and I got one of the Dolly ones that was like chocolate and like vanilla ice and like swirl on top of it, and it wasn't great. It would taste real artificially. And Caitlin got a cookies and cream one, and she said it wasn't great either, but we milked their
Oh, you must have missed when they were doing the Biscoff ones, did you?
Oh yeah.
Me and Aaron were down there when they were doing the Biscoff ones. Yeah, they had like 3 specialty Biscoff ones, and we
I think the
tried to.
specialty ones are now are the Dolly ones.
Right.
And so I don't know what there's a yellow one. It's like lemon something.
Probably
No,
lemon,
or is it
lavender or
banana?
something.
I might have got it if it was lemon. Maybe it's either banana or lemon. Then they have a pink one. I don't know what it is, but it has like a little pink butterfly on it.
We're in the middle of talking about your cancer. We're talking about Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh,
Krispy Kreme sponsor us.
sponsor a cancer patient today.
Eat Krispy Kremes to keep cancer at bay.
Yeah. Get the Krispy Kremes into me.
So yeah, she got her hysterectomy on the 25th of March.
Had that done, and that was like it was it's called a laparoscopy, so it was robotic surgery, so it was minimally invasive. I got out of hospital that day, luckily, and it's like 5 little incisions in my stomach. I was actually feeling me scar last night.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was a bit lumpy. Not lumpy, but it was like it goes in and an indent.
Lovely.
Yeah, just thought to share that with you. I was literally,
It's a cool story.
I was like this with it last night. I was like, Kate, do you want to touch it? And she was like, no. And then she got, oh, do you know what she said? It's making me skin crawl, but I have to share it. She goes, she think if you poked at your finger, it'd go through.
You're gonna tickle me kidney.
And then I nearly got sick, and I was like, I don't want to touch it no more. I was like, now I'm scared of that, and like poking into me and just like piercing a hole.
Eh, like a branch or something.
Yeah, imagine just piercing a hole.
Don't go on any
into it.
bike rides. Imagine you get caught.
Oh, stop.
You'd
I
be
can't
like a
even
pig on a spit. The branch going fully through you, and it'd be so easy. You'd be like somehow a saw.
Yeah. Glaze me up like a ham.
Caitlin would know. She's gonna put ham in her bra.
Yeah.
For context, Caitlin, I brought Trent around because Caitlin loves Trent and Trent loves Caitlin, but they wanted to see who Trent would go to out of Amy and Caitlin, like who he loved more. And Caitlin was saying to Amy, "Yes, I'm gonna put ham in my bra now," so he comes to me. So that was the context.
Yeah, him and the bra, him bra.
But
yeah, back to the hysterectomy talk.
the joyfulness.
Yeah, so that was.
It went smooth. It was
went
alright.
smooth. Everything went really good with surgery. They got everything out like that. It went amazing, like best as they could hope for. Recovery was good as well. Like I was okay. It took like a long time. Like I'd say 3 weeks before I could kind of walk normally. 3 to 4 weeks nearly, like before I could walk at a normal pace and I wasn't like traipsing behind or I wasn't getting like really, really tired. But I'd say in all, like it was a good 2 months before I was properly 2-ish months before I felt like myself again. Because even when I was moving into this new place, I know I wasn't lifting that and heavy because I still couldn't lift that, but just the long days, like I was getting pains in my stomach and it just felt real tender. And I remember at one point like it flared up and like around my belly button was like all red and stuff. Like it was just like
it's all the movements,
too much movement that like, and that was like 2 months on. Like that was end of April going in. Actually, that wasn't 2 months on. That was still like.
No, it was early because you went down and got me Botox with me in April.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say that them pain stopped though, like end of May. Like where I was getting like.
Only like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. 2-3 weeks ago, I'd say, like, where I wasn't getting like tender pains in my stomach from like out walking for ages.
Well, that's normal, do you know
like,
what I mean?
So like it's like I was feeling fine, I could do these things, I could go out on these walks, but it was like if I done too much, like I might be like, or even in me sleep, if I was rolling over. I remember even the first few weeks of even being here, like when I rolled over to the side, I'd like wake myself up, like I was sleeping in a barricade of like pillows on either side of me to stop me like from rolling over like onto my stomach and stuff. So
well, you functioned well after the surgery, like
yeah, it was fine. It was good.
She survived. So now the next
phase then was waiting basically on the pathology report of the tumour and everything, the findings that they took out, everything. So it was a full hysterectomy, like a removal of uterus, ovaries, fallopian tube, like everything's gone. There ain't nothing in there no more. So the pathology reports came back then the 25th of April, and unfortunately it was stage 3, which meant I'd need more treatment after it. So they tested me for lymph nodes as well as testing like everything else that they took out. The cancer hadn't spread outside the uterus, so it technically skipped stage 2 and went straight to stage 3
from this one dot.
Yeah,
it because it's like
dot, like made a
the
stage 3.
Yeah, like the stages are, for everyone that doesn't know, it's kind of like mapped out on what areas it's in.
So stage 1 is having the tumor and the tumor being there. Stage 2 is it affecting things within the uterus and stuff like that, like your ovaries or whatever it may be, like, and it's spreading kind of outside. Then stage 3 is when it leaves the uterus and it either affects other organs, bones, or your lymph nodes.
Yeah.
So when they were taking everything out of me and doing the hysterectomy, they took 4 samples of me lymph nodes to check to make sure it wasn't that they're spreading. Unfortunately, one of them came back with a microscopic cancerous cell.
Like, literally, she said it was a dot.
Yeah, like literally.
Like a ball tip pen dot.
Like literally the smallest little dot. But then this has like the knock-on effect of chemotherapy and radiation, which is currently what I'm doing at the moment. So there's like a whole nother phase of it. Like, it's like you think fertility, like the egg retrieval done, surgery done, and then it's like recovery mode, where there was an idea of I might need more treatment. So I knew it was obviously a possibility, and then obviously when it happens, then you realize how intense it kind of is and how long it's gonna be. It's like, oh fuck, it's like this isn't over anytime soon. So at the moment I'm doing radiation treatment in the pelvic area to kind of kill off that cancer cell, as well as chemotherapy. So as of today, I have exactly a week left of radiation out of 5 weeks in total. And then during these 5 weeks, I had 2 chemo sessions. So my last one was last Friday, and then the one was week 2 of radiation, so like 3-4 weeks ago. And as oh my god, my throat, I need to take some more. She's
been a trooper. Like, you've reacted really well to when we went to your first chemo together. She was fine. Like, obviously it comes with like little bouts of nausea that you had, because we didn't know what to kind of expect, do you know what I mean?
All. Like, it was,
but the radiation, you've reacted really well to the radiation.
Yeah, so far, like, no major like side effects like around.
But they said age would be on your side with stuff.
Yeah, they were like, age is on your side. The main thing you might feel is fatigue, because you have to come to the hospital every day. So radiation is Monday to Friday. It only takes like 10 minutes to do, but it's still like the back and forth.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's the back and forth in the hospital that drains you.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Then for the chemo definitely knocks it out of me. Like, the first time around, I was nauseous for about 4 days, I'd say. So I had it on Friday, and then by Wednesday I started to feel okay again. And I was so tired. Like, all I wanted to do was sleep and nap, and yeah. And then last Friday when I had my other one, it was a little bit worse because I actually was vomiting. Now I only vomited Friday, thank God, but I couldn't keep batting down after chemo on Friday.
Yeah.
It was like water, food, nothing was
them anti-nausea pills are like her saving grace, because the minute she used to just take them, like, she doesn't have to start vomiting or anything. Like, the minute she feels an inkling, she used to take them. Like,
take them.
But she has to also eat to coat her stomach, so if you're thrown up, at least you're thrown up
it's something. Like, the one thing that's actually helping relieve the nausea as well as the medication is eating snacks, whether it's crackers, a sandwich, toast, whatever it may be. That helps like put the nausea at ease. But then this last time as well, I was like even extra tired. Like, I could not sit here and watch telly. I was falling asleep. I was going for naps, and then I was like, I was waking up during the night to go to the toilet and stuff, but like, I was sleeping, and then I was dragging myself out of the bed for a walk in the morning. I was like, I'm just so tired. Where then yesterday, it was like I got me burst of energy back. It's like it literally like from Friday then to Wednesday morning. It's like then Wednesday I'm like fine.
Yeah.
Not fine. Like you're still a little tired, but I'm like after.
Plus, it's been a lot on your body for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Like even going up and down to radiation every day, that in itself is exhausting.
Yeah.
So then when you mix in
the
the chemo with it, then you're already tired from going back and forth from radiation and then working and everything.
Yeah.
And then you have your chemo, of course you're going to be tired, then it's going to actually knock you 90. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's normal.
So it's been a lot. But that was me last chemo for the moment, and then like I said, I've, including today, what, like 6 sessions of radiation left. So I've today, tomorrow,
5,
and then next week I finish on a Thursday, so I have 4 days next week. So then we're finished radiation. That's like the quickest 5 weeks.
So quick.
So quick. I still can't believe it.
I can't believe it's June, to be honest. So
yeah, that too. It's just been the quickest year in general.
Yeah.
But then starting at the end of July, I do need to have more chemo, so I'll need 4 cycles of chemo, so that's 1 every 3 weeks. It is more intense chemo. They'd call the chemo that I'm on now, or have had, like baby chemo, in a sense it's weaker. It just kind of helps boost the radiation, but the next one that I go on is a lot stronger, and I'll be there for a lot longer. Like during the day I'll go from like a 2-hour stint to 6 hours, and it has a lot more kind of your typical typical chemo side effects of hair loss and more sickness and stuff like that. So a lot to process and deal with, but that's on the
at least it'll be once every 3 weeks and you don't need to worry about going up and down to the hospital every day.
Yeah, that's what, like, I was relieved when I found out it was once every 3 weeks, and I was like,
I remember I said it to you, remember?
Like, once a week, twice a week, every day. Like, what is this gonna look like? Is it,
because in my head when she told us
hospital, like?
Yeah, because remember I said to you, like, oh, you'll have 1 every 3, and you were like, no, I don't think I will, for this next round of chemo. Because Amy, I think you will, like, from how she was saying the cycles, like, that's what I took from it. But when you're blasted with information as well, like,
it was so much information.
And then she double checked it and she was like, oh yeah, it is once every 3 weeks. I think you were happy about that though.
At the first appointment though, we thought it was just 3 weeks in total. Remember when she said 3-week cycle?
Oh,
when
I can't even remember.
When we found out I needed more information, and it was like there was no questions, because it was just, this is what you need. You need radiation and chemo, and then you'll have a month break, and then you'll do chemo again, and you'll get 4 cycles at 3 weeks. So we thought it was like, oh, I'll have 4 basically sessions of chemo
within 3 weeks.
But it's not. It's 3 week, like every 3 weeks basically you'll have a chemo for 4 weeks. So it's 12 weeks in total. So that starts the end of July. Second last week of July, something like that, through September, all going well, and I can get chemo on the appointed days and stuff, because it obviously depends on your blood cells, and if you're sick or anything like that, they won't do it. So
fingers crossed, because you've been so well, so
far,
so well.
I couldn't have asked for a better experience in that sense. Like, obviously no one wants to go through it, no one wants to have to deal with it, but so far I've been able to get through okay. Like, I've had umpteen support, like
like the doctors have said, like, even in meetings, like, don't, with the chemo especially, like, don't let it scaremonger you. Like, everyone's experience with chemo is completely different, but they kept emphasizing to Amy, especially, like, your age is on your side, like your immune system, your strength, like that's on your side, so don't go off like what you see in movies. Like, that's not the be all, like, that's not like that for everyone. Like,
that's what you were even saying, like, anyone you know that has gone through chemo, and if they try to talk to you, like, obviously it's nice to have people talk to you, she goes, but just remember everyone's chemo is different.
Exactly. And there's all different types of chemo.
There's all so many different types of chemo. People are getting chemo for different reasons, different cancers, different strengths,
different lengths, like, different everything.
There's so much different things. So that's why, like, I don't want to scaremonger anyone as well. Like, even if they got this diagnosis, it doesn't even necessarily mean you'd ever need chemo. I just need it because that one microscopic thing. And I'm like,
but isn't it funny? Because when we were in that meeting with the doctor, remember the male doctor?
Yeah.
And he was like, if you didn't get any of this treatment, like,
I could be okay.
Like, you could be fine.
I could have technically opted out and been like, I actually don't want to do it.
She could have opted out and be like, I'm not doing any chemo.
Yeah.
I'll do radiation. I'm not doing any chemo. You are your own, like, you are your own person.
I could have just not done any of it though.
No, she could start the chemo and they could turn around and she takes it so badly, and they're like, right, we're not continuing, we're gonna scan you and see what the micro fucking dot is like. Oh, you don't actually need 4 anymore, you might only need, we can finish at the 1 or the 2 depending. So even basically I'm trying to say is they can give you a plan, but plans always change,
especially with Aunt and medical.
Because even when they said for when she was doing radiation, like if you are on a scale of 1 to 10, if you are a 10 and you like with tiredness and you cannot physically open your eyes or get out of bed, we can't stop radiation.
Yeah,
like,
we need to like recoup what's the best option for you.
Like that's obviously not working for you. You can have allergic reactions to radiation, you have allergic reactions to chemo. There's so, like it's
so
not a
many
cookie
things.
cutter that like we don't care how sick you are going through this.
You're gonna
like
get it regardless.
we are gonna skull drag you through it. Like it's not how they were speaking, like it wasn't like that.
They
like plans
tailor it
change
to you in a sense, like and can change in that sense. But luckily I won't need any more treatment. That's the one thing that won't change, because this is all preventative treatment.
Yeah, it's not basically getting rid of something.
Yeah.
To have an operation. Like it's not to shrink something to have an operation. It's preventative, so it doesn't manifest
spread,
into
like
something
that
else.
One dot doesn't start to grow into something else.
Yeah.
It's preventing all that. So after these 4 cycles, like that's it. Like that's not that I'm done with the hospital. I'll have me regular checkups every few months and stuff like that, like just to monitor me and see how I am. But as for chemo for this specific thing, like that will be done after these 4 cycles.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
And we will keep you updated as much as we can with anything. Like obviously grant us some grace if there's not weekly episodes up, just because now you know why we were MIA for so long. I think it was a good enough excuse.
Yeah. So
don't worry,
if
now
there's any excuses, I think that one works the best.
We can't even use this one next year now.
No.
I would think of a bigger excuse.
Bigger excuse.
Yeah, my apartment building blew up.
Yeah.
I had no mics, no nothing.
I was
kidnapped. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, if you have any questions, shoot us a message on the podcast page,
at the
and
Club.
we will try answer them. We might even do a video if we have enough questions. Like
we'll definitely like touch on it again, like in other podcasts. If people have questions or queries, like don't be afraid to reach out. Kind of like putting this out there just to bring awareness to it, in a sense that like, and just if there's something you feel isn't right in your body or your mind or whatever it is, like just reach out to someone, like get a doctor, get a second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion, fifth opinion, however many you need, because like we said, like there is some doctors that either they don't specialize in certain things, or maybe I know for a lot of women in an area, both of our experience in some cases, doctors are like, oh yeah, you have this thing that's related to like a menstrual cycle and there's nothing we can really do for it, let's monitor it and see how it is. If it gets really really bad, then we might do something. It's like, try find a doctor. Like when I was looking for my family doctor, I was looking for someone who was interested in like women's health, and that's what they were like studying, and that's what they were like focused on. So that's why I think that was a good stepping stone for me, to have someone who was vouching for me. Like so far everyone I've come across has just been amazing. Like
all the doctors, nurses,
doctor,
everyone,
the gynae, the oncology team at Princess Margaret Hospital, radiation, surgery team, fertility, they've all gone above and beyond, in my opinion, to like, because I'm a real relaxed person. If I had went to the doctor and she'd be like, oh, you have endometriosis, that's probably why you're having these issues, and never done a biopsy, we wouldn't know. We'd be none the wiser, and I'd just be living with it, because I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, she's a doctor, like that's what she said, I have an answer, I also have endometriosis now, and that's that, like that's why this issue's
because once they hear PCOS, endometriosis, they just try link everything to like, oh yeah, that's normal, oh yeah, that's fine,
a side effect of that, that's a symptom.
But like it's so weird, because like even when I was having issues like last year, cancer never crosses your mind.
No,
cancer never crossed my mind.
No, never.
Like I might like this, could this be cancer, like it just doesn't cross your mind.
Even when,
because you're used to, you can almost hear a doctor saying, oh, let's link to this, and this is the reason. Like
that's why even when she said, like the gynae said, oh, we're gonna like rule out aunt and cancerous, we're gonna rule out, like to try test for it, and we'll rule it out because we need to figure out what's the cause of this like heavy bleeding and these clots and stuff. And I remember when I said it to my mom was like, she doesn't think you have cancer, do you? And I was like, well, I can't really answer that. I goes, because I don't think she has an opinion, but she needs to check for it. But then it just left me mind that she was even checking for it. Like I was, so I think I was so shocked when she rang and actually, and I was like, oh, what does this mean? I was like, oh, like literally that mean like, oh, that's literally me. I was like, okay.
But it really is so important as well, like that you be your own advocate, because no one else is going, like in a medical feels more like what I'm saying is, like, a doctor will only do so much. Like, we'll give you the referral for this. We can we can give you referrals for this, but if you don't follow up yourself and go to these appointments and do this and do that, and it's hard as well when you're sick. It's very hard to like advocate for yourself. I thought my dog was gonna press buttons. So yeah, it's good that if you have like a team, like a family or friends around you that aren't afraid to like this dog is moving too much.
We're nearly there.
To help, like, and be like, anyone, like,
I think a good push is what I needed, and it was coming from you and Michelle, my auntie, that was like, have you made your appointment yet? And I'm like, no, and then I ended up making it because I didn't want to be asked did I make it again, which is such a stupid thing.
I was like, make it and I'll go with you, like, it's fine, like, I'll go with you or whatever. I was like,
oh, I made it, because I'm like, it's just doing all the same thing again. It's like going through the same questions, going through everything, and it's
hard. There's so much, like, even when we were in the hospital the other week and Amy was doing her first the first time she was doing her chemo, and I was with her, and she needed antibiotics and
anti-nausea meds, prescription.
And I was like, the woman in the chemo ward was like, oh, you better go down, like the chemist in the hospital closes at such and such a time. So I said, right, give me your info, I'm gonna go down and get it. She was like, oh, and I went down, your woman behind the desk like, oh, we have nothing for her under the same. I was like, her doctor's in this hospital. I was like,
on the 5th floor.
On the 5th floor. There. I was like, I can't leave this hospital until I have those tablets, sweetie. She was like, oh, like, I can try get in contact with her, but like, I don't know if I'd be able to get them. And I was like, here, I need them. Like, she's up there getting chemo right now. You're telling me she's not going to have any anti-nausea tablets for the whole weekend?
Yeah.
I was like, no. He's just, I think he was warm in one spot. But what I'm trying to say is, like, if you are going through it, like, it's important that you have someone that will be like, no, like, this person needs this, like, because at the end of the day, no one else cares about what you're going through or what you're gonna go through, like, in the sense of, like, in the hospitals and stuff like that, they care to a certain extent, but if you're at home suffering, they can't do that for you.
And I think that's why it's good to talk to people about as well. Like, that's the biggest thing I've taken from this, and I think what's helped me get through this year is just being open. Like, and saying to either certain people like I am feeling like this day, or I keep thinking about this, like, whether it's me thinking about the hair loss that's gonna come up in this next round. It's like, instead of having that thought, say I'm sitting here watching telly with you or Kate, or we're out having a coffee, and I'm like, God, I'm just after fucking thinking of me losing my hair again. It's like, instead of just sitting there burying it and just be like smiling away, it's like saying it and getting it out, or like that. It's like, I'm feeling shit today, like, can you help me with this, or I'm not gonna do this today, or I don't have to head for this, whatever. It's like just being more open and like just talking to everyone that's around,
and just telling people, like, like, at the end of the day, if you're not able for people to be around people, or to be around certain people, like, but I also think other people need to have common sense as well, and like read the room. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not coming around every day to you being up your arse being like, so how are you? Like, what's story? You'd be like, Niamh, fuck off.
I'm okay.
Do you know what I mean? Well, I know you'd be nice about it. You'd be like, I'm fine, like, blah, blah, blah. But like, even when you're going to go through your next round, like, people just need a bit of like a tap. Like, don't cut. Like, I wouldn't even come around anyway without telling you, like, oh, here, I'm coming around to visit you. I think hope other people have that in their head as well. Like, they just don't show up. Like, text me. If you think someone's not going to be well or doesn't have the energy to, because it's so draining. It's such, like, a draining process. The
thing of it as well, like, is draining. Like, to having like people constantly around you and stuff. And like, as good as it is to have your support system, you do need time on your own as well. Like, you need to process, just like relax, just
and not feel like, right, I have to sit here and talk to this person because they're here. I can't just go up and go. Or be like, oh shit, like, I didn't fucking clean up this or that, and now there's someone coming up and I feel like shit, or whatever. Like, I don't even have the energy for this. Like just I've always just been taught this since I was like kids. Like, me man and dad be like, you don't just turn up to someone's house if they're not well. Always text them and be like, hey, like, even if it's dropping something to their front door, to be like, I'm just dropping, I'm not coming in, like, blah blah blah. Like, let them know, like, don't just turn up and then they're like, well, I'm have to have me head in the toilet for 6 hours.
I haven't showered in 4 days.
Like, and I don't have the energy to even make a conversation with you. Do you know that kind of way?
100%.
It's just being more aware of, I know it's coming from a good place that you want to be there for people all the time, but also you have to put the shoe on the other foot, being like, well, would you want that person up your arse the whole time? Or a text goes a long way as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
You can text, and if they don't reply, then you're like, right, then they're obviously sleeping, or they're not, or they're busy, or they're
which is me,
not feeling great. So
I'm just a big napper these days.
Yeah.
Trent support animals.
Trent hadn't seen Amy in a while, so he's very happy.
I was like, bring Trent with you tomorrow.
Yeah, buddy. He loves his Auntie Amy, don't you?
Yeah. He's looking at the camera. I hope you can see him. He literally just turned to the camera.
You love your Auntie Amy, don't you?
But yeah, I think we'll wrap this one up here. And just thanks to anyone who was listening. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Like we said, like we don't know if these are gonna be regular, weekly, or whatever they're gonna be.
When you said appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All I heard was King John appreciates it.
King John, poor King John appreciates it. Me quoting Robin Hood animation. If you don't know, get to know.
But yeah, thanks for listening. There's our reason
thanks
for
sticking
MIA.
around if anyone actually listens to this, because we haven't posted since fucking September or something last year.
We couldn't post earlier this week because we had a
but did post an episode.
We didn't have, we had an audio issue. So
we appreciate people.
Why is he like the baby Jesus looking up me and I'm the Virgin Mary or something? He just needs his little torn crown on his head.
They sacrificed me and killed me on my birthday. Oh,
you alright, Baba?
It wasn't your birthday.
What?
It wasn't his birthday. He was killed. Was it his birthday?
No, he died on his birthday's Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, that's too far.
Easter's
from
his death.
Yeah.
And he will rise again. Sorry, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Now we're going down religious.
Jesus.
This is a normal day for me and Amy. We can't have a straight
jump.
You swear, like seriously, this is where we need bullet points on like a screen. And someone like tapping their watch, being like, "You have 2 minutes to talk about this. 2 minutes to talk about." Because
that would make us worse though.
We'd be like,
like, what was I saying again?
Cancer,
hysterectomy,
fannies. Get your fannies out.
Right.
That should be a slogan.
Get your fanny
For
out.
awareness. Get your fanny out.
Don't be afraid of the fanny.
Fanny shall fear not.
No shame in having the fanny out.
Why did I go down a medieval route?
I don't.
Fanny shall fear not.
Fucking Lord Farquaad over there.
That could get sponsored by Warner Brothers, DreamWorks. Get Lord Farquaad's face and then just have like Fanny shall fear not. And on the back being like, number 3, my lord. Number 3. We're not stupid. He does this in the movie. I know this is Trey, but he does this. Right, we're finishing this.
Done. See you later.
But yeah, you have questions, send them over.
Yeah, our Instagram's at the Weird Girls Club, and make sure if you're watching this on YouTube to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on audio platforms, also give us a follow and leave a review if you like this episode or this podcast in general. Yeah, if you want to see more.
Exactly, and we'll see us soon. Hopefully next week. Who knows?
Soon is ambiguous, so
yeah.
Right.
Bye.